Hey guys, Minty Fresh Gum here, and after playing a lot of Arcstrider, I was curious to know which skill tree was capable of the greatest super PvE damage. Way the Warrior, Way the Wind, so I decided to test it out. For my tests, I used the loadout on screen. Now, most of you are probably wondering why I did not use Raid and Flux, and it's for this reason. I couldn't think of a boss that was tanky enough to take all the incoming damage while also being a boss I could experiment on by myself. Regardless, my results with the standard duration super still give us an answer, but my final numbers won't represent the absolute margins. With a long super, the difference between the high and low numbers will increase, but we can still answer the question of how do I do the most damage with my arc staff. On screen now is a spreadsheet of my results, so if you don't want any of the fluff of how I tested and or the resulting footage, here it is. A link to an image of the chart as well as the image of my loadout will also be down in the video description. Alright. Before I get into the numbers, I want to point out some interesting attributes of the Arc Staff and the Lethal Current buff, which is the damage buff you get with the Way of the Warrior or Top Tree after dodging. Firstly, in order to attack as often as possible, make sure you hold the W key to reduce the recovery time after your last attack. In the clips in the background, I'm holding the W key for the second and fourth clip to show that there is a long pause between combos when not holding forward. I do not have a controller to test this for console, but I assume holding the up on the thumbstick will achieve the same effect. Another thing I want to mention is that the aftershock damage from Lethal Current is constant, no matter which attack you perform. Here, aftershocks from both light attacks and heavy attacks cause 516 damage to this ogre. However, in my testing, heavy attacks of any kind often did not cause a lightning aftershock. To account for this, I calculated the scenario where every heavy attack causes an aftershock, and the scenario where no heavy attack generates an aftershock. But as I will show later, this does not make that much of a difference. Damage-wise, the Arc Staff only has 4 different possibilities per hit, given this light level and against this ogre. Light attacks, whether they are airborne or on the ground, deal 1057 damage. Heavy attacks, whether they are airborne or on the ground, deal 1135 damage. The Palm Strike, or the final heavy hit in the light-light-heavy combo, does 2062 damage, and finally, the aftershock damage is 516. So knowing this, the only thing left to do is figure out how many times you can go through each combo in one super, both with dodges and without. For the upcoming clips, I'm holding W in all of them, so that I can get the maximum number of attacks per super. Of the 6 possible attack patterns, I tested 5, those being the 3 light attack combo, the electric palm combo, only heavy attacks, alternating light then heavy, and in-air light attacks. The one I did not test was in-air heavy attacks, as they are significantly slower than any other combo, and thus would not output comparable damage. The clips running in the background are the tests with Lethal Current for those 5 aforementioned combos. I'm not going to show the tests without Lethal Current, as they would just show me clicking repetitively in a few different ways, and they're pretty simple to get, so I hope you can take my word for the numbers of combos I got in those tests. Also, while these clips play out, I began each test with a dodge and delayed dodging as long as possible while making sure that the Lethal Current buff never deactivated. And this brings us back to the chart. Taking the found damage numbers, I added up the damage for each combo and multiplied them by the number of rotations through each combo when both dodging and not dodging, giving us the results in the rightmost column. Earlier in the video, I mentioned that the aftershock damage on a heavy attack procced inconsistently, and to account for this in the graph, I subtracted 516 from the combo total before multiplying to find the lower damage for the combos with heavy attacks. The 2 total damage numbers are represented here, but the differences have no effect on the outcome. Looking at the final damage numbers, 2 things become evident. First, that no matter which tree you are running, spamming the light attack combo will give you the highest amount of damage. Secondly, the hierarchy of the damage combos does not change between top and bottom tree. Assuming all heavy attacks have an aftershock, the top 3 attack patterns are the light attack combo, the electric palm combo, and the heavy attack only combo in that order. And that's pretty much it. Before the video ends, I want to reiterate some of the important takeaways from the video. First, make sure you're holding W or forward during the super to reduce the recovery times between combos. Secondly, to do the most damage, spam light attacks, and if you're the top tree or Way the Warrior, dodge every 2 rotations. Finally, the top tree adds roughly a 25% damage increase when compared to the bottom tree. And that's all I have to say for now. If you have any questions, critiques, or want to see some of the extra test footage, leave a comment down below. Also, this is not the end-all be-all for testing on this topic. These tests only answer how to do the most damage, not what is the highest damage possible for the Arc Staff. And Raid and Flux would add some nuances to the numbers as well. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this useful and or informative. Catch you guys in the next one.